First thing we're going to look at is some trapping, and we're going to utilize our straight blast drills for this. So this is going to be a trapping series that uses sort of a static feed so that we can get a high volume of repetition on a bunch of different ideas. We'll just stand comfortably, knees bent, probably tilt the pelvis a little bit so you sort of sit into your stance. Straight blast, remember, is going to be vertical punches. That's a thumbs up orientation of the fist. Probably hitting with the bottom 3 knuckles like that, and it's straight down the center. But essentially what you have is a punch that goes right through the center line to the target, bang, and it just drops just enough so that the space, the size of a fist can thread right over top of it. So it's not a thing where there's a big over-under loop. It's often done this way, and that's maybe a bit of a mistake where there's a sort of circular elliptical movement. We want it to be here where they're just moving right over the other, and you're just going to punch, 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 punch. Targeting for your straight blast certainly is probably going to be the face, but for our drilling purposes, as we're mostly going to work defensive options, using this as a kind of generator, we're going to put the targeting towards the chest. It's safer, it's more comfortable, we'll be able to get a little bit more done. Okay, first things first is I'm going to ask Sean to feed me a nice slow, controlled, even tempo, simple rhythm, straight blast here towards my chest. So you just hit 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The trick here is to have a good even rhythm. If you don't have a good rhythm, that's okay. This is going to help you with that. So he's just here, 1, 2. My baseline defense is simple pox out. Not pak da, trap and hit, pox out, which is just the slapping hand. So these are coming all the way in like this, and as they do, I'm just going to pat from the outside. My pak really should have the base of the heel of my palm going towards the center. I'm not going horizontal, that would be wong pak or a parry. It's going into him a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So as I add things to this, this is always my jumping off point and the point that I return to, right? So if I'm going, oh, I can't think of the next thing I'm supposed to do, whatever, there's never a point where I'm like this and I'm getting hit. This is always my default setting. Technique number 1 that we're going to add to this straight blast generator is going to be pak da. So we're going to take our slapping or trapping hand and we're going to add a hit on top of it with chung choi, the vertical fist. When this punch comes in, I'm going to have the same trapping motion. Remember, thumb is on top, not underneath. And I'm going to trap, hitting on the same side of his arm. It's not going to be in the middle, what you might call loi da. It's going to be outside, noi da, this way. Trap and hit on the same side. So we have our generator. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And as I'm ready, I'm going to insert a hit like that. And he's going to try his best to just maintain his rhythm when I insert, so that I can kind of pick that up along the way and not break the chain. So in the beginning, you can just add the trap and hit whenever you find it. So you might kind of have where you're a little contemplative and you go, oh, now I got it. Here, and oh, now I found it. Or you can preset it where the 3rd beat every time is when you insert your punch. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can see there might be a tendency to want to move a lot this way. 1, 2, 3. This, you can tell from the front, is not a great position to try to hit from. I'm kind of leaning awkwardly. So what I want to do is use that pox out to start to control the center line and then use the chung choi to finish taking control. So that as this, can I move you right here, my friend? As this is here, I'm 1 and 2, both of those motions together take over the center line. I shouldn't have to lean. There might be a slight shift along the way, that's fine, but I don't want to tilt side to side, right? So if you see my center here, it's not this as much as maybe moving this way, right, where I'm shifting. Even my feet are shifting side to side. 1, 2, that will be good. This kind of thing, not so much. Okay, so next one we're going to add in loi pak da. Technically, the first thing that we did, you might describe as noi pak da. That's an outside trap and hit, so that we're trapping from the outside. Loi pak da, conversely, would be trapping on the inside and hitting like that, so the inside line of his arm.